are 7 unique business opportunities within the print-on-demand industry. Each one has the potential to grow into $1 million venture. Many aspiring entrepreneurs dream of the freedom that owning a business can offer, but the lack of initial capital often stands in their way. It's a common dilemma. How do you take that leap into running your own venture when you're short on funds? We speak to a lot of people on a regular basis facing this very challenge, and the solutions I found may surprise you. First and foremost, let's clarify our terms. When we talk about high ROI, low cash business, what exactly do we mean? We're after businesses that offer a substantial return on our investment, ROI, without a heavy upfront financial commitment. ROI stands for return on investment, and here's some quick math. ROI is calculated by net income divided by cost of investment times 100. So if you invest $1,000 and make $10,000 back, that's an impressive ROI of 900%. Pretty sweet, right? We also need to consider the investment length. That's how long it takes to see a return on your investment. So every time someone tells you,
"I'd love to start a business, but I don't have the money,"
direct them right here to this video. We're diving deep into the 7 businesses you can kick off with less than $1,000. We'll explore the actual returns and time commitments and pinpoint who these ventures are best suited for. How can I say this with confidence? Each month we scrutinize hundreds of products, machines, and businesses in the printing industry. We've also personally invested in some of these high ROI, low cash ventures while collaborating with industry experts, and in turn helping 2 to 5xing entrepreneurs in their businesses. This isn't textbook stuff. We're sharing insights drawn from real-world trenches of business. Now, you might ask, why not just invest $1,000 in stocks, crypto, or real estate? Let's break it down. Stocks historically have averaged a 10% return over any decade. So for your $1,000, that's $100 a year. It's steady, but it's not spectacular. Real estate, here the returns are a bit mixed. On the upper end, we see a 9.5% ROI. Single-family homes, they hover around 1.32%. So with $1,000 investment, you're looking at an annual return of between $13 to $95. Now, I have investments in both stocks and real estate, and they're solid options. But if I only have $1,000 on hand, I'd bet on myself and my business every single time. Why? Because in the world of business, the potential for growth and ROI far surpasses traditional investments. First, generate income through business. Once you have that cushion, that's when investment in stocks and real estate can amplify your wealth. The matrix of investments is an important metric of understanding when it comes to what you're looking for in these 7 businesses. The link to the video explaining just what the matrix of investments is in the description. Business number 1, the Ornament Business. Let's break down just the bare cost for supplies, customer service, and pricing alone. I would go with a supplier called Soto Laser. I reached out specifically to them and them alone, and they are offering 15% off with our link in the description. They are who I used when I was in a bind during the holidays. They came through with rush shipping for me. It was during Christmas time. My original supplier canceled my order due to supply issues, and I would have been out thousands of dollars in issuing refund after refund if Soto Laser didn't come through. We typically had the best sales with 3-inch diameter ornaments, although they come in any size you could want. 25 units is about $14, $5 for a spool of ribbon, and 4 sheets of hard surface paper at around 70 cents a sheet. We print multiple images on each sheet. To scale this, let's add a 0 to make it 230. You can sell a customized ornament for $20, like this shop on Etsy called Keepsake. Selling 12, you've made your money back, and now you have $760 profit and can invest in additional stages of growing your business. We're talking about a simple porcelain or acrylic blank and a ribbon that brings in over $1.7 million for a company already. Time investment for pressing is only 60 to 120 seconds, depending on the thickness of your blank ornament. I briefly mentioned Keepsake on Etsy. They have 166 listings, and all of them are the same blank, a single round porcelain ornament. This means that inventory cost is kept streamlined, while the heavy lifting comes from customization and designs. Keepsake shows us that a potent customer acquisition strategy is non-negotiable for success. When looking at a customer acquisition strategy, here are a few key points to keep in mind. Keyword targeting. Focus on keywords that potential customers are likely to use. Words like customize and personalize. These are specific and can help direct traffic to your business. Social media. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok are perfect for showcasing the beauty and uniqueness of each design. Short videos detailing the pressing process, which takes under 2 minutes, can be a mesmerizing watch and an instant hit. Engage with the audience. Run polls about designs, host question and answer sessions about customization options, or share behind-the-scenes content. This not only boosts engagement, but also fosters a sense of community around the brand. Collaborate with influencers or niche accounts to feature your ornaments. Given the aesthetic appeal of these products, they're likely to be a hit among influencers who focus on home decor and festive content. content. The ornament business, while seemingly straightforward, harbors immense potential. Keepsake on Etsy has already shown us the blueprint with a streamlined inventory, emphasis on customization, and a robust customer acquisition strategy. Business number 2, custom pet portraits. I love this one for multiple reasons. AI has made this so easy. Before, you would need to be an artist to some degree. While knowing more advanced design app or Photoshop skills, 70% of US households have a pet. 90 million people is not a bad customer base. Cost of goods here is extremely small, mostly time and something like select 2-step paper. Sheets are about $2.78 a piece for an 8.5 by 14. The best thing about this business, you can offer multiple variations of the same product, scaling it as your costs rise and fall. Offer a digital-only print as the bottom tier, a mid-level tier being on canvas, and the top tier you could offer framed. You control your costs along with what you want to offer. This shop on Etsy sells each print for around $30. This falls into what's considered the lipstick effect category. This means that consumers will still spend on small indulgences during recessions, economic downturns, or when they have a little extra cash. It also, like the ornament business, pulls on the heartstrings of the buyer. Why is this important? Harvard Business Review wrote an interesting article titled "An Emotional Connection Matters More Than Customer Satisfaction." It says this: shaping a customer experience by being precise about the emotional connections you're trying to build and investing in the touch points that drive these connections is a powerful way to increase customer value and maximize the return on investment decisions while minimizing the risk. Emotionally connected customers not only generate greater value, but in every interaction become more and more convinced that this company gets me. So just how much can a shop selling something that emotionally connects with a buyer generate? Artsif Official cashes in at over $273,000 a year on these portraits. That's a 500% ROI per item. In the world of business valuation, ROI is an inverse of a multiple. If the multiple is 4.0, then the ROI is 25%. So common multiples for small businesses are 2 to 4 times the seller's discretionary earnings, which is about 25 to 50% ROI. So having a high value profit margin item like this could be the difference between your business succeeding or your business failing. So far, we have 2 businesses that utilize some form of artwork involved. But what if you're not an artist in any way and want something that's more plug in and go? Business 3, custom guest books. This business model allows you to control your cost in multiple ways. The blanks you purchase can be kept extremely simple. Let's look at this shop on Etsy. One type of book is offered with multiple variants on the execution. All you have to know how to do in an editing program is change a font and type a name. Marketing this one blank as multiple things across different listings, as a guest book, an adventure book, and a vow book, will allow the keywords and photos multiple chances to grab the right buyer's attention. Forbes released an article titled "How Marketing is Being Reborn in the Digital Age" that focuses on a book I'll link below that draws attention to how advertising is shifting from technology-fueled messages that interrupt the consumer journey to data-connected content that carries people through the consumer journey. You want to show your consumer why your product will improve their lives and have an immersive aspect showing it all while remembering the emotional aspect we talked about earlier. With these books, you have a few options. You can look around the internet for blanks that you can then press onto with iColor hard surface paper or build your own. With a quick search, I found videos and posts about making a wooden journal or a book. This means looking at your time investment and determining if you would rather pay a little more to save time or spend your time to save money. Redberry Guest Book on Etsy is generating almost 10,000 sales a year, selling $50 blank books. That's over $378,000. Our next business generates $100,000 more a year than the last business, with personalized tumblers, specifically ones targeted at the wedding niche and sold as bridesmaid gifts. These have a lower price point at $11, but are just as simple to create: a name placed on a cup. By doing this, you decide the playing field. By niching, I mean stripping back your offer to be hyper clear and hyper specific about what you do, who you do it for, and how, zooming in on the core of your audience to carve out a piece of the market that only you can occupy. An example of how this works: let's pick a completely random product. Maybe you make spray paint. To most of us, all spray paint is the same, so you create a difference, perhaps by aiming your paint at craftspeople and artists, or even more specifically, graffiti and street artists. Maybe you even begin to develop colors or color names aimed at that market, or you come up with new products that help get them the best results from your paint. In identifying and catering to your niche, you decide the playing field and you determine who the players are. You've just become a specialist. On one hand, you're cutting loose a group of potential customers that might sound scary, but to those who are less left, you've just increased your relevance profoundly. To them, it might even sound like you're a specialist who's there to answer their particular problem. A lot of business people resist this approach because they're worried about leaving money on the table or being pigeonholed, or they think niching means occupying a market that's small to support their goals. Let's squash those misconceptions right now. In my experience, specialists get paid more. Occupying a niche requires you to be really clear with the world, and more importantly, with yourself about what you offer. It also requires you to completely understand who your audience is and what they need, and those two little hinges can swing open big doors for you. Doing this works, and there's a company on Etsy proving it, the White Invite Gifts. Bulk tumblers can be purchased for around $3, and the names can be placed on a gang sheet of eye-color hard surface paper, printed out as you need them. This places your ROI at around 200%. Would you niche down for $480,000 a year? Playing off the customization aspect, this leads us to our next business, keychains and tags. I love this business mainly for the time investment. Each press on hard surface paper is under 2 minutes and you're done. The customer submits the date and the name, and the rest is quick production. A company dominating this industry on Etsy is Custom Built Gifts, generating over $300,000 a year, with their pricing being $25 or under. Now, this brings in the psychology behind something like the lipstick effect. Even in an economic crisis, most consumers will still purchase little luxuries. They're able to fulfill their wants without straining financially. And one study, led by investigators at the University of Zurich in Switzerland, researchers gave 50 people $100 and instructed half of them to spend it on themselves and the other half to spend it on someone else over the next 4 weeks. Then they performed MRIs to measure activity in the brain associated with generosity and pleasure during a social task. They found that those who spent the money on other people had more generous and fair interactions with other people and reported higher levels of happiness after the experiment was over. Emotional attachment and milestones are high drivers for sales. Harvard Business Review has an article stating emotionally connected customers constituted just 22% of sales, but accounted for 37% of revenue, and they spent on average twice as much annually as highly satisfied customers. Enhancing emotional connection could be a viable growth strategy if you could fully attract customers from competitors, transform satisfied customers into fully connected ones, or both. Inside Idea on Etsy leans into knowing its customer base by offering our next business idea, desk plaques. Soto Laser Cutting offers blanks for under $5, and with the successful track record selling at the $45 mark, this shop was able to generate $410,000 a year with an ROI close to 800%. They market this multiple ways, with a nameplate, a sound wave, a PhD plaque, and a gift directed towards couples and families, being the top sellers. This gives you one blank to sell multiple ways. Just how important is it to keep your inventory costs low? Excess inventory was the main driver of Hewlett-Packard's PC costs. 1 year, in fact, inventory-driven costs equaled the PC's business total operating margin. It's easy for startups and small business owners to jump into sourcing products and selling without an inventory management plan. However, if left too long, inventory management shortfalls quickly become headaches that cost you both customers and profits. So set yourself up from day one to generate income. There's an 80-20 productivity rule of thumb that states 80% of your profits come from 20% of your efforts. Applied to inventory, it means 20% of your overall product line accounts for 80% of your profits. The final business, the custom shirt business. I know what you're thinking. It's saturated, it's been done. Looking at it that way is like saying people don't like to shop and buy clothing. Apparel toes the line between an essential good and a luxury item. Because this business can be ruthless, it's good to have a business plan that provides goals and guidelines for a designated time period. If you don't meet the benchmarks established, then you have parameters to adjust and data to analyze what went wrong. This also means that you can measure business health over several years to figure out if you are reaching that designated target market, and allows you to deliver more than clothes once you define your niche. The last Etsy shop we're looking at is Kennedy Claire Couture. They've taken simple words like momster, teach, and marry and have turned them into an $892,000 a year business. Prices start at $22 per sweatshirt, and if we use the same method of buying blanks at $5 and the two-step paper is about $2, we have an ROI of 200%. Now, if we go the print-on-demand route and utilize something like Printify, the cost increases significantly. I actually created an account and placed an order for a sweatshirt, and it looks something like this. That's my production cost, about $20, then my shipping cost of $10. So I'm at $30 of hard cost before I begin to think about profit. Raising prices to $50 a sweatshirt makes you unable to compete with the shop that dominates at $22. Pair that with the Etsy algorithm algorithm that loves proven sales and 5-star reviews, and you're out before you start. Each of these businesses can be kickstarted in any way that works for you. Print on demand, having fulfillment done by a third party, or doing it yourself with a machine that will grow with you as your business grows. We have an iColor 560 and an i800 white toner printer. You can probably see the 800 sitting back there. We were able to generate $175,000 our first year on Etsy, doing everything ourselves. We then added the i560 and a new door was opened. As you can see from all of the businesses I mentioned earlier, I will say you will only get out what you put into your business. We paid for the machine 18 times over the first year alone. There's a saying, as good things happen to you, the probability that more good things will happen increases. Forbes shed light on this in an article titled The Power of Optimism, and it draws attention to how success is achieved. 0, skyrocket, it's just how it works. Intel headquarters has a quote on the wall of the lobby by its co-founder Robert Noyce. Optimism is an essential ingredient of innovation. How else can the individual welcome change over security, adventure over staying in safe places?